What kind of world do we live in? We're a bat? I mean, video game companies can take away our digital video games that we purchased with our hard-earned money in the blink of an eye, just like Sony is doing on the PS3, the Vita, and the PSP. It made us start thinking that we might want to jump on the Wii U eShop and get some essential games before we can't. What are we drinking today?
We're drinking Mosey by Topping God. This is a straightforward IPA.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss one of our bi-weekly uploads. And let's dive into the Wii U and talk about the games on the eShop that you need to get before you can't.
Hey everybody, DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. You're watching Gaming Off the Grid. Remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
It's all but certain that the Wii U is going to pull the plug on the eShop, just like the Nintendo Wii did before it. And, you know, there's been a lot of news lately about the PS3, the PS Vita, the PSP losing online support. These digital games, folks, it's a fucking disaster waiting to happen because this content will disappear in a lot of instances forever. We already experienced the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Simpsons arcade, the Turtles arcade, the X-Men arcade, or all those things that happened already on the like Xbox 360 and the PS3, but this stuff on the Wii U will inevitably go away forever, and we need to strike the iron while it's hot.
Yeah, the Wii shop just closed, what, 2 years ago maybe?
I lose track of time.
And we lost a bunch of WiiWare games that were very cool, and we'll never see them again unless some third-party company comes in and physically puts them on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we know there are ways to get those games and hack them onto your console, but for the common user, this episode can really help you get into some games that could disappear rather quickly. I think the Wii U thinks it's literally a matter. I'd be shocked if we're 2 years out from the filming of this video and that thing is still live.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen this year because the PS3 just got announced, if not next year, 2022. Now let's jump into some games. So we're going to categorize this into games, and then we're going to go into some retro stuff at the end.
Yeah. So we'll get some like more exclusive Wii U games, and then we'll dive into the NES, Super Nintendo. There are other consoles we'll briefly talk about, or handhelds. But we don't really talk a lot about handhelds on the channel, so we'll keep it to what we know, but let's jump in.
Let's jump into the exclusives. So if you've been following the channel for a while, we've talked about this game before, and this game is incredible. This is Fatal Frame, made in a Blackwater, which is not available physically in the United States, which sucks.
The UK got it.
The UK got it, Japan has it, so it actually technically is free in the eShop. But you only get the first 2 chapters, which sucks, so it's not the full game. But if you want the full game right now, at the timing of filming this, it might be different when you check it. It's $29.99. So Fatal Frame is a fantastic series, but with the Wii U tablet, it's perfected the series.
The camera obscura.
Yeah, it's the
in your hands.
Perfected way to play it, dude. It's awesome.
And this game, you know, for Fatal Frame enthusiasts, it kind of is middle of the road as far as ratings, but as far as the application of the tablet, I enjoy playing this iteration of the game better than any of the other ones that we've played.
It's so much more scarier because you're like, I don't want to lift the tablet up, but I have to, and then it's like, oh, what's on the screen?
So even if you just want to dabble, you can get the first 2 chapters for free. Now, it is worth noting, this game takes up a ton of space. I can't remember the exact amount of gigabytes, but it's going to take up, if you don't have the 32 gig Wii U, all bets are off. So what I would recommend is getting an external hard drive because this game takes up a ton of space, but I think you need to get this game immediately from the Wii U eShop.
And speaking of space, let's move on to affordable space adventure, which
Space is the place,
We've talked about this game at nauseam on the channel if you've been following us. This is one of our favorite 3-player co-op games. This game is phenomenal, and it uses the tablet to perfection. This is digital download only, which sucks because once this eShop closes, you will never be able to play this again.
Both these games are examples of art or games, or however you want to state it, media that have the potential to almost disappear forever, at least regionally.
And they just show how perfect the console is.
Now, I will say for affordable space adventure, as much as we love the game is almost an unforgettable experience if you're playing 1 player.
But you gotta play it 3-player.
3-player, though, is an experience that I have never quite had with any other game because you have to work harmoniously together. Someone's controlling
you're on one ship.
Steering. Someone's controlling the thrust.
The power. So this game right now, at the filming of this, is $19.99, which is dirt cheap for one of the best 3-player game experiences we've ever had. I've never played any game like this. This is such a unique game experience.
There's such a narrow, and this could be a future episode now that we're filming and we can talk about that. And the ideas just happen. But there's few and far between where there's a couch co-op game where it's like, it's okay 2-player, but 3 players where it thrives. I think of like this and NHL Hits, just like come to mind right away.
Which is weird, they're 2 different games.
Completely different, but this game really thrives if you have 3 people that you think you could play affordable space adventure with. I mean, $19.99 is a drop in the bucket for the type of experience you're going to have with this game, and we have to credit this game and our knowledge of it to Dads and Lads Gaming. Check them out.
Now let's move on to one of our favorite games on the Wii U. This game is glitchy. This game is buggy. This game is super expensive.
And if I may cut you off and say, this game is also on the table.
Ooh, it's also a devil. Devil's Third. So this game is rising in price quickly for physical. I think right now they're selling this complete in box. This game is $170 plus on eBay. This game is so expensive, but on the Wii U, this game is only $29.99, which is a phenomenal deal for this game. This game, you just feel like a freaking badass playing it, dude. This game is so much fun.
It's just a complete run and gun brawler, I would kind of call it. The game, to your point, it has its flaws, but the fun factor is through the roof. How this game got rated so low is an anomaly, and I think the price really speaks to that. At least in the US, I know it's a lot cheaper in other territories, but the game wouldn't be rising in value like that if people weren't wanting to play the freaking game.
If this game sucked, it would not be worth this much money. So we're telling you right now, buy digitally or get a physical copy because this game is so much fun. Yes, you're going to put it in and be like, it's kind of glitchy here. Dude, it's a fun game.
It is. Now, the reason we're showcasing it in this episode, the game is not worth $170.
No.
It is definitely not.
But it's $29.99.
And we love physical versus digital. You guys know that if you've been around for a while. But we didn't get it for that price. But if you can get it on it for $29.99, even if it's a digital copy, I think that's the way to go. If we didn't have it currently, that's what we would do. I would never pay that for this game in modern times.
Now let's move on to a game that we've loved since we started the freaking channel.
And it's a multi-platform game, but there's reasons it's on this list.
This is the best version of the game, hands down. I think this game was designed for the Wii U, and that's Axial Verge. One of the best Metroidvania style games. Complete in box, this game is getting close to $100. It's crazy expensive. I know Limited Run put out a batch of it. I have one, you have one.
Yeah.
But on the eShop, it's $19.99 right now. And it is the best version of the game. The soundtrack's incredible. The gameplay's incredible. Dude, it's such a beautiful game. It's such a fun game. Axial Verge is incredible, and the second one is coming out soon, hopefully.
Yeah, so we're blessed to even have gotten a physical copy on the Wii U because that's a whole nother story because it almost never happened. They got it out on all the other consoles via Limited Run, and then the Wii U one was just kind of caught in purgatory. It finally ended up coming out, but like you mentioned, CIB 85 plus if you want a new copy of it, north of 100.
Yeah, good luck.
But for $19.99. And
it's the best version of the game.
Why is it the best version of the game? And if you want to see our video on games that are better on the Wii U than other consoles, we have a video about that. But this integrates the tablet so well because you can play the game, and instead of pausing it to go to your map's right there on your tablet. You can also select weapons on the little tablet.
It's just perfect. That's why we love the Wii U so much, is because of what they did with the 2-screen aspects. It's so awesome.
And it works so well. And the other versions of the game are great on other consoles, but there's something super sweet and just unique to the version on the Wii U. So for $19.99, that's a must-own.
Now we're going to talk about a game that we've never talked about before. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you're thinking, so they're just regurgitating information. No. We got some stuff for you that you've never heard us talk about before.
We're digging some shit out of the well.
And this game... oh my god. So obviously there's a lot of eShop games out there, and there's probably games in the comments you're going to comment and be like, hey...
well, what about this one?
Yeah, what about this one? We haven't played everything. These are just games we played, and this game is phenomenal. You like F-Zero? Then you're going to freaking love this game. And that's Fast Racing Neo. This is basically like an F-Zero clone.
Yeah.
And it is so much fun, dude. It's beautiful.
I think this game is an eShop exclusive, and if you're into race games that have power-ups and things like that, there's a very unique aspect to the control scheme here. If anybody's played Ikaruga...
Oh, it has that very similar switch to this.
Yeah, so you might understand what I'm talking about here. So you'll get to transport pieces of the game. You also get to speed boost paths, which in these futuristic racing games is commonplace, except for these ones are colored orange and blue, and you can shift your phase on your ship, race car, I don't know what the hell you want to call it, but you can shift your phase from orange to blue, and if you hit the wrong color, respectively,
your ship
you get
it just
slowed
pauses,
down.
you know?
But if you hit it on the right color, you get launched into the stratosphere with exceptional speed, and you're like... It's amazing.
Dude, this game...
It's so fun.
It's so much fun. It's super fast like F-Zero, but then it kind of has that shooter element like Ikaruga. And this game is only $14.99.
Yep.
In the eShop right now. Obviously, there's a ton of racers out there, but this is like one of the most unique racers that I played in a while that's kind of has a learning curve. Yeah. You gotta learn how to do that. Phase shifter, it's awesome, and the visuals,
and
man.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
It has multiplayer, which is sweet, but even when only one player's playing, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's going so fast.
Well, we were screen capping it for this episode, and you were like, dude, I love watching you play this. Like, it's amazing.
I was like, I'd rather watch you play than play it because it's less stressful, but beautiful, you know?
Yeah. It's a really good racing game, and if you're into that type of Wipeout, F-Zero-esque, futuristic racing, this is a hidden freaking gem.
Yeah, this game's
Fast
awesome.
Racing Neo, and for $14.99. And there's multiplayer, there's cups per level of difficulty.
You can unlock tracks.
Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, kind of have a cup system set up. Yeah, very good.
Dude, this game is incredible. Now let's move on to retro games.
Yeah, so the Wii U differed greatly from what the Switch is doing. Now, we love the Switch NES and SNES
Oh, the apps are fantastic.
But they kind of, in a way, kind of control what content comes out, whatever. Where the Wii and the Wii U, you could just pick whatever games you wanted. Obviously, if they didn't have it available, you couldn't. But we're going to highlight some retro games. We're going to focus in on the NES and Super Nintendo that are super expensive in their physical form. So if you were like, man, I really want to play that game, but I can't afford it. Now, emulation enthusiasts, you know how to play these games.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. You can hack it and blah, blah.
But yeah, if you're a Wii U fan and you want to play these games on the cheap and not go through the emulation route, this is speaking to you. And there are some dingers, and there's also a couple that were, at the time anyways, somewhat exclusive to the Wii U. And we'll start off with those two in particular, with Earthbound Beginnings, other known as Mother.
Ooh, that's what it used to be called, was Mother. So they released Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U, which is awesome, and it's so cool that it's available on the eShop because it wasn't available in the United States till this moment.
Yeah, this was like the big deal. It was a big rah-rah, kind of, on the underground scene.
It was an eShop, you know, so it wasn't like...
But Mother, finally, in the United States, and then people had the ROMs and things like that, but it was kind of a big deal at the time. And all these NES games are $4.99, so if you want to get Mother / Earthbound Beginnings, whatever you choose to call it, you can get it for $4.99 on the Wii U eShop.
Cheap, guys.
Before it closes. Excitebike fans? Any of you? Anybody out there Excitebike fans versus Excitebike, or some people like to call it Excitebike too, also got an official release on the NES.
And it's...
But on the Wii U.
Yeah, it's very
kind of like the whole Earthbound Beginnings
It's
thing.
very weird. Yeah. So it's $4.99 as well, which is cheaper than a Subway footlong, which is crazy because a lot of people get that for lunch.
Yeah, because that's a penny more.
Ooh, a penny more.
Yeah.
Penny saved is a penny earned. Is that what I say?
Yeah, that's what you always say.
That's what I always say.
You say it almost every day.
Yeah, but if you're a fan of Excitebike 2, this is a huge deal as well because it wasn't available.
Yeah, so... Got to get your Excitebike 2, got to get your Mother, but the next games we're going to talk about are NES games that are unattainable. They're games we don't own in physical form because they're just so damn expensive.
They're so expensive.
And again, anybody who wants to hit the comment section says, oh, I can get it and emulate it for free. We know this is just talking to the casual gamer who doesn't do the emulation thing because sometimes that's hard for people to figure out how to do. But Mighty Final Fight.
Ooh.
Amazing NES game.
Almost $300 for physical copy.
Yeah, $275 plus is what you're looking at for Mighty Final Fight. It's $4.99 in the Wii U eShop.
That's crazy.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Do you want to get your math on? Do you want to get a little bit smarter?
What a weird game.
It's a game we probably couldn't even play.
No,
if we wanted to.
We would probably fail at it.
But Donkey Kong Jr. Math is $4.99, and on the current landscape, and prices may change by the time this video comes out, but about $140
That's
plus.
Crazy.
Gargoyles Quest 2. It's kind of in the Ghosts and Goblins. Not kind of, it is in the Ghosts and Goblins universe. $4.99. It's a $100 game on the NES.
And it's $4.99. I know it's digital, but still, you can't beat that deal.
And then Scat, a game we love. It's a shooter, side-scrolling shooter, but it's unique because you're kind of a person.
And you can flip
directions.
Oh. Scat is amazing.
It is, and I'll be anxious to see if the price of this game goes down a bit, because Limited Run just did a re-release of Scat, which we ordered. We don't have it physical yet, but we will shortly, but it's not the real one, so does that even really count? I don't know.
It's a different episode.
But Scat is $4.99. It goes for about $115 on the open market if you want the old school original cart, and it is worth noting that Scat is available on the Nintendo Switch NES app.
Yeah, which is really cool. I'm glad that they added that.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about the Switch is they keep adding things here and there.
And,
but it's also like...
And occasionally they surprise me with what they
surprise me, but it's also like they add things and it's only like a select version of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't add the full game, which is weird.
And then there's also games they add that it's like...
Who cares?
Yeah, why would you add that?
But speaking of who cares, let's move on to the Super Nintendo... Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. It's almost a $300 game.
And I think all you guys know how expensive Earthbound is, but to get it that cheap, that's kind of a big deal. And then we move on to Castlevania Dracula X. We're obviously big Castlevania fans, and it's just so ironic that Castlevania Dracula X is like a $300 freaking game.
Insane.
Not quite, about $230 range, and the game on the Wii U eShop is
$7.99, less than $10, guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
because that game is phenomenal.
Now we're not big Harvest Moon fans.
Nope.
Just don't really know a ton about it, but that's another really expensive SNES game. $230 plus for physical form. $7.99 in the Wii U eShop. Final Fight 3. We're big Final Fight fans. Yeah. We have the Final Fight arcade 1-up because we love the franchise so much. Final Fight 1 and 2 are also available on the eShop, but those are pretty affordable physical games. But Final Fight 3 is kind of crazy. It's over $100 to get it on the Super Nintendo in physical form. $7.99. Demon's Crest.
Ooh, what a fantastic game.
Yeah, the old boy there from Ghosts and Goblins gets his own game.
Super expensive.
Yeah, super expensive game.
Oh, $150 plus just for the car, you know what I mean?
And, you know, we're not going to dive too much into... The N64 also has games available, which I think is a great deal on the Wii U. They're relatively affordable, but there's not, like, any games on there that are, like, dingers.
No, there's not. It's a lot of your commons. And you can get the physical stuff for pretty cheap. And then there's a lot of handheld stuff that's pretty cool, which we don't know that much about handhelds. No,
but I will say, like, the Castlevania Area of Sorrow is on there, and it's, like, $6.99, $7.99. The Metroid Fusion, there's a couple Metroid games, couple Castlevania games on the Game Boy Advance and DS. You may want to go scoop up before this thing is gone. But again, we don't focus on handhelds much, so we're just kind of focusing on the console stuff. And the N64, we could just take or leave that console altogether. Yeah. If you don't have No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000, we really don't give a shit about the N64. And they don't have those. But there are some games out there that you could go get on the cheap on those respective consoles, which is very unique to the Nintendo Switch because they do not have those options.
But the Switch is still active, so they might add them eventually.
Yeah.
But obviously, the Switch has been out for years now, and they haven't added them.
I mean,
it's hard to tell because you don't. That's why I hate digital media. Is because you can add things, you can take things away, and people.
I do think there is value though in the DS stuff because DS had 2 screens, Wii U has 2 screens.
Yes, it's perfected.
That you don't have to piss with emulation. You could get those games, but again, we're not experts in the handheld realm. But I think there's some total value there, and I think everything we mentioned in this episode has a ton of value because I think you may find yourself once this Wii U eShop closes, being like, shit. Man, I could have snagged Castlevania Dracula X for $7.99 and played it on a Nintendo console. And I just didn't do it. Or any of these games.
You missed the bullet. Obviously, there is probably 10,000 games that we missed. But these are the games that we played, that we know, that we
love.
That we love. So let us know in the comments below what we should download before the eShop closes.
Yes. And hopefully you learned something from us.
Yeah.
As far as what you should download.
This is a two-way street, guys. Yeah. Speaking of a street, let's talk about the beer street. We got Mosey. This is an IPA by Toppling Goliath. Yeah. Just a straightforward IPA, and I love Toppling Goliath, so I'll let you start off before I start praising accolades.
Yeah, one of the best breweries in Iowa for sure, and I would say their niche is IPAs.
Oh, they're so good.
This is a really good beer. It just has that Toppling Goliath taste. I will say, prior to this episode earlier today, we were kind of talking about, man, it's kind of hard sometimes to differentiate Toppling Goliath Pale Ales, IPAs,
because they have their distinct
triple
taste.
IPAs. Yeah, but this one does taste a little bit off the beaten path.
If someone gave this to me blind, I would not know it was Toppling Goliath.
Yeah, but I really do like it.
This is a very good IPA. It's obviously very cloudy.
Yeah.
Very milky, very smooth. On the can it just says IPA, but it feels like it's a lot. It feels like it's a double or triple. You know what I mean? It's so smooth.
Yeah,
it's so,
you would think,
it's not very hoppy.
I really enjoy this.
Dude, this is so good, so smooth.
I feel like, you know how early on in the channel, and maybe still, I'm not the biggest IPA fan, but I've always liked IPAs and pale ales from Toppling Goliath. I feel like had they been my introductory to it, I maybe would have had a different frame of mind. But this is a really good beer.
It's
and
weird.
Toppling Goliath always delivers.
It's weird saying that Toppling Goliath is a good introduction to IPAs because it sounds like it's a simple beer.
It's not, but they just do them so damn well.
They do them so damn because obviously you have your Sam Adams and all these introduction things into craft beer. Toppling Goliath is a fantastic beer, and I think their beer Pseudo Sue is available like almost nationwide now. So you probably know who Toppling Goliath is, and this.
And it's
so good.
When you have something from Toppling Goliath, you know, craft beer fans are always like looking for that next best beer. If you have Pseudo Sue or King Sue, you've had it.
Yeah.
You've had the best.
Are the king of the kings.
You've had the best in class. So you've had the best pale ale that we've ever had anyways. And I think it would be hard pressed to find something to knock that out of the path. They just do such a good job.
I love them so freaking much. Thank you for continuing to make fantastic beer.
All right, guys, they're trying to take our jobs. I mean, not really. They're trying to take our digital games. We got to get after it. The PlayStation stuff is closing down. Everything below the PS4 and PS5. The Wii Shop already closed. It's just a matter of time before they close the doors on the Wii U eShop. Hopefully, we at least gave you a nudge to go jump onto your Wii U and see if there's anything that you need. If some of these games aren't your style, they don't suit your fancy, don't go buy them.
Just go browse. Just
go browse. I bet you'll find a couple games that you're like, you know what? I need to click on that, and I need to add that to my Wii U.
And if anything, obviously we're physical media fans. If you get one of these games that has a physical media aspect and you love the game, go buy the physical. I know they're super expensive. We're not saying spend your money, but it's a good introduction.
Here's what I'm thinking. If I didn't have Devil's Third, I'm going to buy Devil's Third for $29.99 and put it on my Wii U before they close the store. Yeah. And I'm going to keep hunting. I'm going to keep grinding. And that day that I run into Devil's Third at a garage sale and Grandma doesn't know that Devil's Third is like a $170 game, and she's got all these other shitty games like Dance Dance Revolution. She's got Mario 3D World and all these games that she just doesn't give a shit about. That will be the day I add that to my collection on the cheap. But for the time being, if you want to play the game, boom, $29.99. That's what it's all about.
It's all about saving money.
Yeah, and that's what we try to do. We try adding value to your gaming life and your gaming endeavors.
For cheap.
And get after this stuff before the Wii U eShop closes. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and subscribing to the channel, and we hope to see you next time. Next time, Gadget. Next time. Right here on Gaming Off the Grid. Like a $300 freaking game.
Insane.
Not quite. About $230 range, but it's
$7.59.
$7.99. Oh, okay. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about the games that you need to get immediately before the Wii U.
The Wii U.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah, thought I shit the bed.
Now we're going to talk about a game that we've never talked about before. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you're like, okay, this is just regurgitate.
From the Wii U eShop. What are we drinking today?
They're drinking Mozzie. Mozzie. It's Mosey. There's no A in it. Mosey. Mosey on down. Quickly for physical. I think right now they're selling this complete in box. This game is $170 plus on eBay. This game is so expensive, and it's not even a perfect game. People are upset about this game.
We could retire.
Yeah, we could. Let's okay, we're done. No, just kidding. But on the